Hello and welcome to Spiritually Free. This is your host Luci, and today I'm going to get into the first house. So, first, I want to talk about why I changed the name from Spiritually Free to Mental Powerhouse, and that is because Spiritually Free more so represents what the end goal of astrology or the 12 houses represent. Astrology is one of the many ancient spiritual philosophies that offers a pathway to enlightenment. And what enlightenment truly is just spiritual freedom. Spiritual freedom is controlling your destiny in this life and the next. Okay, this is what it means to have everlasting life. You die in this life, and when you are reborn, you're going to be born in a different place, time, different circumstances. But enlightenment means that you have the spiritual will to direct where your next destiny is headed. So, on this particular path of enlightenment, there are 12 energies or 12 mindsets that need to be mastered or understood. And I'm going to go through all 12 of those energies or mindsets. I'm going to break them down. I'm going to start with the first house. But before I do that, it was believed by the ancients that this enlightenment or this information about yourself, when you truly understood it, that it would give off this inner glow that people could feel around you. Okay, they can't see this glow, of course, but they kind of felt different being in the presence of an enlightened person. Okay, so this type, if you are on a spiritual journey and enlightenment of yourself and your spiritual freedom is your end goal, then astrology would be a path for you to consider or look at or look into. So each of the 12 astrological houses or astrological energies, they have two aspects. They have a physical aspect and they have a spiritual aspect. The physical aspect is represented by a planetary body, the sun, the moon, Jupiter, Saturn, the whole nine. And the spiritual side is represented by the astrological signs. That's Aries, Libra, Aquarius, all of the signs. They represent the spiritual side of a house. I'm going to first get into the physical side of the first house, and that would be the representation of Mars, or Mars would be the representation of the physical side. And Mars is an energy of being active, being, moving the body, being connected to the body and exerting energy towards things that you enjoy doing. Okay, that give you pleasure. It's also about being active when you need to defend yourself, when you need to take care of defend your family or other people. Okay, so this is very active energy. People who have a lot of Mars, they tend to be, more sportsy, more engaged in exercise and things like that. They live more of a high energy, active life. People who have low Mars, they tend to not be so active, but they do. That doesn't mean that they don't get active. They might need a little more motivation, but that they can get active. Okay, we all have this ability, but some people are just more naturally attuned to their Martian, I guess you could say, energy. Another aspect of the Mars energy would be, because this is also a connection to the body, sex and the alert of pain. When these are sensations. So the sex is, very pleasurable sensation, and then of course pain is alerting you that something is wrong. So these are just the connections to Mars being active, the sensation of sex and the alert of pain. So Mars also represents your ability to be active in things that, like I stated, that you enjoy doing. So that is working on your natural talents or your natural gifts, or that means discovering something that you enjoy doing and gaining a skill in it and becoming talented in it. Okay, putting your body in active situations where you are growing that talent. And this energy has a lot of self-motivating, inner self-motivation, motivating yourself to keep mastering a talent or a skill. And this is also self-determination, you being focused on something and you giving it your all because, it feels good to do so. And you also know that you have an end goal of getting better at this thing. Okay, whatever this natural talent that brings you pleasure is. So if you don't know what your natural talent is, or you don't know what skills you're good at that you should be pursuing or putting your energy towards, there's a way to try and discover that. And most of us don't really know what our talents or gifts are, or things that could become gifts. We don't really know what they are because we don't spend a lot of time thinking about stuff like that, because we work, we have jobs, we have a life, and so that can become pretty distracting. Not that it shouldn't, but it can take a considerable amount of the attention away from you trying to discover what your talents really are. And so there does come a balance when you balance the things that need to be attended to, and then also the balance of you working on your natural talents when you have the time. And it's also good, if you can, to turn your job into what your natural talent or gift is. But of course, that takes the journey, and that also takes the mindset of learning how to turn that skill or that gift into money. Okay, so that's a challenge of the first house, turning your skill into something that you could possibly even make money from. And then you transitioning from, maybe a corporate job or wherever, a job that you're, putting energy towards something you don't really like, you're just kind of tolerating, and slowly moving towards something that actually gives you life and you're excited about getting up every day and working on this. And, these are your talents, your gifts. So that's Martian energy, working on that, being active in what your truth really. When you think of Mars, you can think of, what am I good at? Am I standing in my truth with what I'm good at? Okay, am I using my energy towards something that is really meaningful to me and brings light to my life? Okay, so if you have a hard time looking for your talents or discovering them, you can just go to Google, do a quick Google search, type in 100 skills to master, and pick one of those articles, kind of read through some of those skills. And if something might catch your eye, or if not, you can kind of just read some, give it a day or two to think on it, and hopefully something will bubble up to the front of your mind that gives you an idea of what you could possibly be good at and pursue. Because unlocking this house or this energy means to walk in your inner truth and discover what your gifts and talents are. So that is the struggle or the challenge of the physical side of the first house. Okay, so now I'm going to get into the spiritual side of Aries, of the first house. And the first house is represented by the sign Aries. And Aries is the spiritual energy of the ram, or the symbol of charging ahead towards something. This is the power of direction and moving your body in the direction you want your life to go into. So this is all a part of aligning yourself with what you feel your destiny is and going down that path. Naturally going down that path, but also having focus along that path, because there are things you want to do and accomplish, and it takes direction and motivation in order to continue down that road. So The challenge here with the first house is being able to control your attention, because there's a lot of things out here in this world that grabs our attention. Like we talked about, life happens. When we talked about physical energy, life happens where you have to put physical energy towards things you may not really want to do, but you need the money. So in the spiritual sense, this is putting attention towards things that aren't helping you down your path of accomplishment. Okay, you're giving your attention to all kinds of other things. Maybe it's your phone, or maybe it's stuff on whatever that has most of your attention. That is what controls you, really. And Aries energy is about focusing that control and having more of a sense of direction with what you give your attention to. So one thing about attention is that nothing is important if it doesn't have your attention. No kind of information can really do anything to you if it doesn't have your attention. And so this is about having the power to give importance to what you feel is going to help you grow, and not giving attention to things that are just perpetuating bad habits. So when it comes to the spiritual and physical side of the first house, you have the physical body, which is represented by Mars. And this, you can think of this as your inner warrior, or their inner activeness. Some people are more inclined to being more active and some are not. But this is your connection to your body and your physicalness. And the spiritual side would be represented by Aries. And Aries is your sword of attention. Where are you as the warrior in the body wielding the sword of attention? What are you giving the power to? What are you focused on? Are you charging ahead down what is going to help you grow? Okay, that's going to lead you towards enlightenment. And hopefully that thing that you're charging towards is the talent that you naturally have. And you're working towards cultivating that talent and hopefully expressing it and maybe making money from it, because you want to up your quality of life. And that also means getting up every day and doing something that you enjoy, or at least enjoy more than, just doing something you tolerate just because. So this is bringing some spark and some lightness to your life, and not feeling so heavy about working. But of course, it takes courage. It takes courageousness to follow your dreams and to follow, your gifts and talents. It takes courage. And that's something you would have to muster here and master here in the first house. So not being able to find your talents due to a lack of attention, or due to being easily distracted by other things that don't contribute to your growth. A way to deal with this type of first house struggle would be to try maybe meditation. And meditation is all about, focusing on the breath and being able to clear your mind of distractions, and being able to be in control of what you give your attention to. So this helps you when you're trying to charge down the correct path for yourself when you're dealing with first house energy. So the first house holds your sword of attention and the power to discover and carry out your talents. So this has been Spiritually Free with your host, Luci. If you find this type of information helpful, please like and subscribe, and thank you.